All right. Let's look at this next problem. I want you to consider 3x plus 4y equals 240. Now this is a linear function, and if I wanted to graph this is what we call standard form. So this is a standard form. This is not the slope-intercept form. We could algebraically solve for y and make it slope-intercept form, but there's a neat trick you could do when you're graphing something that's in the standard form. I'm not being asked to graph this, but there's a neat trick you could do. And it's called, you just plot out the x and y intercepts. So real quick, if I have a graph, right? Now you got to make some assumptions, but all linear functions are going to cross the x and y axis at some point in time because they're a straight line. Okay. So what is the y coordinate when you cross the x-axis? In other words, if I'm on this line here, what is the y coordinate? How much do I go up or down? Well, that occurs when y equals 0. Okay? That means I don't go up or down, so that's when that occurs. And the y-intercept, how much do I go left or right when I have a y-intercept? Well, 0, right? So the x and y intercepts occur when their corresponding variable is 0. So one neat trick I could do is it's a neat trick, but if I plug in, so for example, if I let y equal 0, so on the first one, I'm going to let y equal 0. So let's do that. Let's let y equal 0. This will give me my x-intercept. Okay. So if I say 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 240, what happens to this term that's multiplied by 0? It goes away completely, right? And this goes to 0, so I get 3x equals 240. And then if I divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 80. So that means that my x-intercept occurs at 80, 0. Now, I'm not going to count out 80 things. I'm just going to assume that each one of these little marks is like 20. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pretend that that is 80, 0. All right. So now let's do the x-intercept. So now for the x-intercept, the y-intercept, I'm going to let x equal 0. That'll give me my y-intercept. And then that will be 0, whatever I plug in. So same scenario, I'm going to say 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 240. This goes away, and I've got 4y is equal to 240. Divide both sides by 4, and I get y equals 60. So my y-intercept occurs at 0, 60. So I'm just going to go up 3, and then I'm going to draw a line between these two. So my line will look like this. Okay. Where this is the point 0, 60. And then this is the point 80, 0. Any questions? So you could graph that rather quickly by just finding the x and y intercepts.